Jerusalem Talmud Yomi, Chapter 2, Mishnah 6. The Mishnah states, Seor Shilachulin, dough of mundane, and truma, that fell into dough, of other kind of dough, lo bazeh kedei lachmetz, but not enough to make it rise, v'lo bazeh kedei lachmetz, histarfu, they combine, v'chamitzo, and they make it rise. Rabbi Lezer says, after the other one, I am coming. I pursue the other one. And Chachamim say, whether it fell into a prohibition in the beginning or at the end, in general, ein oser ad shehei bo kedei lachmotz. It's not prohibited until there's enough dough to make it rise. Yoezer ish habira haya mitalmidei Shammai. Yoezer, the man of Habirah, was one of the disciples of Shammai and said, I asked Rabban Gamliel Hazaken, Omed Bashar HaMizrach, who stood at the eastern gate, when I was standing at the eastern gate, the Amar, and he said, La'olam ein oser ad shehei bo lechamitz. He said, it does not make it forbidden unless it alone could make it sour, meaning make it rise. Halacha. There, we have stated, libation wine is forbidden and makes forbidden in the most minute amount. Chizkiah said, if somebody mixed a cup from forbidden and from permitted wine, if the forbidden fell in last, it makes it forbidden. Permitted at the end makes it permitted. Rabbi Shmuel ben Rav Isaac said, this follows Rabbi Eliezer. And as Rabbi Eliezer said, I am going after the last one. Rabbi Jeremiah said, this is a stringency about libation wine. Rabbi Yossi said, he asked, if it were a stringency about libation wine, even if the permitted fell in last, it should be forbidden. Rabbi Asi, in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, if somebody mixed a cup from forbidden and from permitted wine, one considers the permitted as non-existent. If the forbidden does impart taste, it is forbidden. Otherwise, permitted. Rabbi Hoshaya said, only if the permitted fell in last. Rabbi Ami, in the name, Rabbi Ami is also today's Daf Yomi. In the name of Rabbi Yochanan, it does not make any difference whether the forbidden fell in first and the permitted last, or the permitted first and the forbidden last. Even water and wine, even if it was mixed perfectly from permitted, one considers the permitted as non-existent. If the forbidden does impart taste, it is forbidden, otherwise permitted. Rabbi Zera said, that which you say, and everybody stated, how can this be? Rabbi Yossi ben Rabbi Abun, Rabbi Abahu, in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, if a flask of libation wine fell into an amphora of wine, and then it fell into a water cistern, one considers the permitted as non-existent. If it can be tasted, it is forbidden, otherwise permitted. How do you know it can be tasted until you taste it? Once you taste it, it's forbidden. I guess you have like one freebie, maybe. So far, when they fell in one after the other, what can one say if they fell together? Rabbi Elazar said, let us hear from the following. When is the leavened matter of Samaritans, the leaven of the Pharisees? No, Samaritans. When is the leavened matter of Samaritans permitted on Passover? On private persons after 3 weekly bakings, or city bakers after 3 days, of rural bakers after 3 baking loads. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says, even when they said of private persons after 3 weekly bakings, if he was an important personality or he married off his son, if you bake 3 loads, one after the other, it is permitted. And even when they said of city bakers, after 3 days, if he was under pressure and baked 3 loads, one after the other, it is permitted. It was stated, Rabbi Shimon says, even when they said of rural bakers, after 3 baking loads, it is forbidden at least 3 days, since in the morning he prepares sourdough for the entire day. Does the second dough not become sour from forbidden and permitted? Rabbi Jeremiah said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, who is the Tana of the leavened matter of Samaritans? Rabbi Eliezer. And Rabbi Yossi said to Rabbi Hanina, En Tanaya. No. Anyway, Antanaya. Let's go with that. Okay, do you remember that you and Rabbi Jeremiah said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, who is the Tana of the leavened matter of the Samaritans? Rabbi Eliezer. But we do not say so, since Rabbi Hila said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, they treated leavened matter of Samaritans following Rabbi Eliezer. In addition, from the following, Rabbi Hanina said, my father Rabbi Abahu had a case. He sent to Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Asi, and Rabbi Ami, and they instructed him according to Rabbi Eliezer. Would they instruct according to an isolated opinion? But it is that they treated leavened matter of Samaritans following Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Mana said before Rabbi Yossi, what do you say? Their practice follows Rabbi Eliezer. Does practice here follow Rabbi Eliezer? He said to him, for everything?